When King David was an old man, his son Adonijah announced, "I will be the king." He invited all his brothers, apart from Solomon, to a great feast. When David's wife Bathsheba heard this, she went in to David and said, "Didn't you say that Solomon would be the next king?" David said, "As the Lord lives, who has rescued me from every trouble, Solomon will reign after me." Then David told Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet to anoint Solomon as king and bring him to the throne. Zadok and Nathan did as David asked. When Adonijah heard this, he was very afraid and ran into the tabernacle. He would not come out until Solomon promised not to kill him. Solomon said, "If he shows himself a worthy man, he will not be harmed." And Adonijah bowed down to Solomon. David gave some final instructions to Solomon, telling him to follow God's commandments. Then he died, after reigning for 40 years. Near the beginning of his reign, Solomon put a number of people to death. Adonijah, who showed he wasn't a worthy man, Joab, who had killed innocent men, and Shimei, who had disobeyed an instruction never to leave Jerusalem. Solomon loved the Lord, and one day the Lord appeared to him. God asked Solomon what he would like to be given. Solomon said he felt like a little child, but he had so many people to govern. So he asked the Lord for wisdom. The Lord was pleased that Solomon asked for wisdom. He said that he would also give him riches and honor, and if he followed God's commandments, he would have long life. Solomon became the wisest of kings. One day, 2 women came to him. They had both given birth to babies, but in the night, one of the babies had died. Both women claimed that the living baby was theirs. Solomon said, "Bring me a sword." And he said, "Cut the child in 2 and let them have half each." Then one of the women cried out, "No, don't kill the child, give him to the other woman." Then Solomon knew that this woman was the real mother. As well as being wise, Solomon became a wealthy and prosperous king. There was peace and safety in the land, and plenty for everyone to eat. And Solomon was wiser than anyone else. He spoke thousands of proverbs and songs, and knew all about plants and animals. People used to come from many different countries to hear this great king. We learn from this story that wisdom is very important. Wisdom means being able to make good decisions and judgments, and it's better than riches or honor. And we learn that wisdom comes from God. He was the one who gave Solomon wisdom, and he can give it to us too, if we ask him. And we learn that God provides a wise king for his people. All went well for God's people when Solomon was ruling wisely, and now God has provided an even wiser king, Jesus Christ, his son.